When did you start to feel like you had issues with your skin color?
You know, I didn't really realize how many problems I had with it until we were dancing with the Knicks, and one of my NBA friends says, hey, listen, you know, it's a shame that you're not gonna ever be able to marry an NBA or an athlete because they're not gonna be able to see you because you're so dark. We ultimately choose women that are lighter.
And that was said by a black man?
Yeah. It's always like, oh, you're so pretty for a chocolate girl.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't full impact until I had Madison. As time went on, I noticed that she was just getting darker. As she got darker, I was like, ooh, this is a problem.
Wow.
Because somehow or another along the line, you become inadequate.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want that for her. Like, I don't want her to have the same type of scenarios that I did, like never being told that you're beautiful.
Right.
But I unconsciously started putting that on her.
Madison, what have been some of your experiences?
Well, you know, going to like a predominantly black elementary school, that's like was my first experience. I got bullied, and one black kid in particular, he would always say like, your skin looks like poop, and like call me like Blackie. And I remember running home to my mom, of course, like crying, like,
I remember
what's going on? Like, why would he do that? Like, why would he say that? And that's like was my first introduction to it. And then when I transitioned to like a predominantly white school, I was scared because I was like, if I'm getting this from my own community, what am I gonna get from this? And I didn't have any issues. So that was really shocking to me.
Wow. That is so deep that you went to an all-white school, basically.
Yeah.
And had no issues.
That doesn't make sense.
About it too, that the best way to control a group of people or to really just get control of them is to pit them against themselves.
And that's exactly what colorism does.
Exactly.
And so it was all by design.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, there's a fascinating documentary on colorism that we wanted to tell you about.
Skin color amongst the black community is a huge issue.
I used to wish that I can wake up one day lighter or wash my face and think that it will change or get lighter. I thought it was dirt and I tried to clean it off, but it wouldn't come off.
Certain people who may have lighter skin try to boost their self-esteem and to boost their, their self-worth up by putting others down because they know that darker skin, I guess, isn't considered beautiful, and so that kind of puts them up on that pedestal, like saying, hey, I'm more beautiful than you because my skin is fair.
Experts conducted an experiment to test young children's attitude toward different skin colors. The results were just heartbreaking.
Show me the smart child. And why is she the smart child?
Because she is white.
Okay. Show me the dumb child. And why is she the dumb child?
Because she plays.
Well, show me the ugly child. And why is she the ugly child?
Because she plays.
Show me the good-looking child. And why is she the good-looking child?
Because she likes skating.
A friend of mine had recently had a baby, and I was very happy for her. And so, it was my first time seeing a baby, and the baby was beautiful. And she said, girl, I'm so glad she didn't come out dark. And when she said it, it felt like a dagger, like someone took a dagger and stuck it in my heart, because I was used to expecting hearing things like that from other races. But this was someone that I considered to be my sister.
Okay, alrighty. What it do, what it do, what it do. What it do, what it do, what it do. Water is essential in every aspect of your life. Okay, alright, so today's topic, it's something that is not really talked about a lot in the black community, or people just, do not like to talk about it at all. At all, period, point blank. But if you know me, I am not one to fare away from conversations like this. And I love having conversations like this because it allows you to have an open and honest conversations about the real thing that is happening in the real world. Okay, so alrighty, so today we're going to do our makeup. I'm gonna do my makeup and talk about the situation and what, you know, my opinion about this topic. As you can tell from the title, we're talking about colorism today in the Black community / African community. And I'm doing this because the other day I was watching a video. It's a Facebook watch video on the Red Table Talk. Yes, the Red Table Talk. It's all 3 Black queens: Jada Pinkett Smith, her daughter Willow Smith, and her mother, Adrienne Banfield. Yes, I think that's her name, Adrienne Banfield. And basically, Jada had her lifelong best friend on the show. And if you don't know what the Red Table Talk is, what are you doing? Are you living in a cave? You need to go ahead and watch Red Table Talk. So I'm using the Milk I Do a Good primer to prime my face. So yeah, so basically Jada had her long life best friend on the show. Her name is Leah, and Leah is a dark-skinned, chocolate scrumptious woman. And Leah has a daughter. You know, all of them, all family essentially. About colorism and colorism of what Jada's best friend went through being a dark-skinned woman, and also what her best friend Leah, the daughter, went through also being a dark-skinned woman. And Jada basically also shared her struggle of being biracial and also mixed with a lot of things in her family, but never really being able to talk about those things because to her and her family, you were just Black, point blank, period. Okay, so you know, I was thinking, I was like, you know what, every person that's dealt with colorism, especially dark-skinned women, we deal with colorism every single bloody day. Okay, as you can tell, I'm dark-skinned. Hello, yes, dark-skinned, and my name is Ebun Osayemi. Welcome to my channel if this is your first time on this platform or on my video. Anyways, so yeah, basically I'm dark-skinned, and I'm dark-skinned and also Nigerian, and you know, I'm the darkest one in my family. So basically growing up in Nigeria, which I did for my young years, for at least 8 years of my life, I lived in Nigeria. I was born there. I'm, you know, Nigerian, full power all the way, you feel me? But if you don't know, Nigeria has a problem with colorism, a lot of problem with colorism, and a lot of Nigerian people being colorist, okay? Nigerians love to bleach their skin. Not all of them, but bleaching is very, very, very much done in any Nigerian country / African country, in a Caribbean countries, and also in some parts of Asia, bleaching is done. So, you know, me being a dark-skinned woman, it was a lot and it was a struggle. But I will say that I really, really, really didn't experience colorism until I came to the United States of America. So for my eyebrows and my eyes, I'm using this Makeup Evolution concealer in the shade C16. So yes, so I really didn't experience colorism to that full extent until I came to the United States of America, and that's when all hell broke loose, honey. And I was also able to relate to this because Jada's best friend daughter literally went through the exact same thing that I went through, and I'm pretty sure also the same thing that every dark-skinned woman has also gone through, being in school, elementary school, high school, or maybe even college, and being bullied by reckless children. So when we got here, I went to a predominantly African-American school, you know, high school and elementary school, and both of my schools were, I will say, pretty much diverse, but a lot of, you know, Hispanics and also Black kids were in that school, and it was just hell. Like, I mean hell. Like, imagine already coming from a different country, right? I already have an accent, number one. Number two, I'm dark-skinned, right? That's also already a problem in their eye. And number three, I'm African. So that's like, wrap everything up into one. That's hell for a 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, okay? And being a little kid, like, I don't care how much people like to say, oh, the words don't affect me. Words do affect you, okay? Words affect you more than actions, in my opinion. You can hit me today or, cut me, whatever. I'm going to heal. But the words that come out of your mouth carries a lot of weight. It says so in the Bible too. The power of the tongue is powerful. Extremely powerful. And I was called so many names, so many disgusting, vile names by these kids. They would say, oh, her mom left her in the oven for so long, that's why she came out like this. Or they would call me Midnight or Blackie. And I remember one scene in particular where this boy, this trifling little boy, so I think I was like in 7th or 8th grade when this happened. And this boy literally had the audacity to tell me, we were leaving to go to the next class. And as I was packing up my textbooks and stuff, this boy literally comes up to me and he's like, oh, I want you to go home and pour bleach all over your body and see if you're going to become light-skinned. And I'm able to say that now and just, dust it off my shoulders. But back then, that really, really did affect me. And that affected me for a very, very, very long time. And mind you, the kid that said this was a black boy. Like, make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to me. You feel me? And also in the Red Table Talk, the daughter basically said that she was bullied by majority African American kids. And that is the truth. The colorism exists in the black community and in the black culture. And as you know, colorism is the child of racism. If you don't know that, now you know. Colorism is the child of racism. And I'm tired of people blaming it on white people because, yes, they had a major particular role to play in colorism back in the day. But now we've kept colorism alive in our own community and we continue to feed that and brainwash that to the dark-skinned girls and men in this community. And I just remembered being so disliked by everyone, literally by everyone, just based off the color of my skin. I'm not gonna cry because I'm a gangster, but it's very traumatizing. I hated looking at myself in the mirror, hated what I saw in the mirror for a very long time, you guys. Everybody will be out in the summer with the friends and whatnot, and I literally would stay home for 3 months, y'all. That summer school year, I would not go out one bit, nothing. Wanna know why? Because I was scared of getting darker. I was scared that I would become darker than I was now. And I did not want that to happen because imagine, I'm already dark skinned now. Imagine when I go out and I get even darker, what else are they going to say? What else are they going to say about me? And I just remember the depression that came with that. And when you're at a young age, you don't even understand what depression is, number one. So I didn't even know that was depression. But that was a lot. That was a lot. That is a lot. To not want to go out at all. And I kid you not, at all. The only place I would go was church. Go to church and then come back home. And even when I was going outside, I would wear super long sleeve t-shirts and jeans that covered my feet, everything, from head to toe, because I didn't want to get darker. And that is so sad. That is so sad. I look back on that and I'm like, I wished that I can just go back to the little me, the teenager me, the baby me, and just give her a hug. You feel me? And just let her know that it's okay. Dust it off. But that's easier said than done, number one. It was just a lot. The kids in that elementary school and also that high school were just terrible people. And I'm pretty sure, hopefully now, they're better adults now. And I hope that they're not, still doing the same reckless-ish that they were doing, back in high school and back, in elementary school. But they don't understand how much that affects people and how much that affected me. And it even got to the point where these kids, like, so the way my elementary school was set up was, there's my elementary school and there's my high school, like literally across the street from each other. And these kids in the elementary school will literally go to the high school next door and get their older brothers, sisters, friends, whatever, and they would also harass me after school. Like, y'all don't understand. They totally harassed me after school, called me names upon names upon names upon names. That it was ridiculous. Because it's crazy because I was able to relate to every single thing that they were talking about in that colorism conversation. Because every single dark-skinned woman has gone through it. And I have this saying where I say to my sisters and also to myself, and Olivia Pope's dad was right. If you watch Scandal, you know what I'm talking about. Where he basically said you have to work 10 times as hard to get half of what they have. And that, to me, really, really resonated with me because it was like, okay, not only do I have to work 10 times as hard to get what a white woman has or a white man has, but I also have to work 10 times as hard to get half of what a light-skinned woman also has. Because as a dark-skinned woman, I'm not, I'm not valuable in the community. And they don't see me as beautiful or as someone that deserves the same respect or as someone that deserves the same things as a light-skinned woman or even a white woman has. And that is just bananas to me. Also, in the Red Table Talk, Jada's friend Leah also said something that, again, I related to in a lot of ways. Where she was like, growing up, she overcompensated in certain parts of her life to, distract people from looking at her dark skin. And I'm able to relate to that a lot because, like, there are times where I will over-sexualize my body just so, like, the color of my skin isn't the topic of discussion. And also being a dark-skinned woman will may be considered less attractive in the world and also in the community. Like, we have to work 10 times as hard to overcompensate. And I completely understand where Jada's friend was coming from because, like, to the world, our beauty is not capital. I can't use my beauty as capital in the corporate world or in the world in general. So I remember growing up that I had to work, harder, and I had to overcompensate by making sure that I was extra smart, make sure that I spoke politely and correctly, and worked harder than everybody else in the room just to get noticed. And being a dark-skinned woman, we do overcompensate a lot on the very aspects of our life because, like, we can't use our beauty as capital, again, like I said. And for foundation, I'm going in, already know, my Maybelline Fit Me Foundation in the shade 380. You know what I mean? And I think that with this, there is a duality when it comes to this. In the terms of, like, talking about colorism, like in the Black community or African community, like people do not want to talk about colorism at all. Like it is not up for discussion at all. And if you bring it up, it's like, oh, like, she's bitter or she's sad or, things like that. And it's like, no, the duality in this is that I can talk about my feelings and I can talk about my emotions with dealing with colorism when it comes to colorism. And I can also at the same time be a hard-working woman and succeed in life and be successful and be that boss and CEO and alpha female that I am. And also, to the flip of that, have emotions when it comes to certain things. I'm allowed to. Like, why am I not allowed to have emotions? Why do I always have to be the strong one in the community? Why do Black women, dark-skinned Black women in particular, have to be the strong one in the community? Why do we have to be the steel? Why do we have to carry the weight in the community? Why? Like, we are not allowed to cry? We are not allowed to have emotions? We're not allowed to have feelings? We're not allowed to have nothing. So then what is there to me then if I'm not allowed to have feelings? And I'm not allowed to have opinions and stuff. What is there to me? Am I human? No. You know what I mean? I'm not human then. I'm not. And it's like, why do every other female, light skin, brown skin, white, whatever you want to call yourself, why do they get to have that duality, but we don't? So it's very important, my dark skinned woman, if you're watching this video, it's very important that it is okay to have both. It's okay to show your emotions, okay? And it's okay to be that successful boss, period. You know what I mean? I'm talking about this topic in particular because I am very passionate about this. And if you know me, you know I am not one to just say anything just to be politically correct. That is not me at all. I say what I feel like saying, you know. Let's have this discussion. I'm not one to back off from discussion, especially from situations and topics like this that are very, very, very important to talk about. Yeah, and also even going back to another example that I have so many examples, y'all. I remember a friend of mine, she had a boyfriend, and this literally happened like 3 years ago. She had a boyfriend, and we were all getting dressed. So it was me, my best friend at that time, and another one of my friend with her boyfriend. We were all getting dressed to go out to a party, you know, college kids, that's what you do. And we were all getting dressed. If you know me, as per my last video when it comes to my skincare routine, I'll leave it over here so you can go ahead and watch it. I use Vaseline in everything. Like, Vaseline to me is just, it works. Like, why knock it? You know, I had Vaseline with me, and he was like he needed chapstick for his lips because I guess his lips were ashy, whatever. But I was like, oh, here you go, use this Vaseline, you know. And this guy looked at me and he was like, no, thank you. And I was like, okay, that's fine, cool. He's like, and he was like, oh, we're already dark enough over here. I don't want to get darker. And I was like, excuse me? Come again? Like, what does that mean? And he was like, yeah, we're already dark enough over here. And mind you, he's a light-skinned black man. Like, out of all of my friends, also, again, I'm also the darkest one. And my friend at that time was also a light-skinned woman, and her boyfriend also is a light-skinned man. And he was like, yeah, we're already dark enough. I don't want to use Vaseline. You're good, though. You could use it. And I was so upset by that came from someone that not only were you dating my best friend, but like, how dare you say that to me? Because I'm like, the woman that gave birth to you is a black woman, no? Your sister is a black woman, no? Like, make it make sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of things I'm just like, make it make sense to me. Because if it doesn't make sense, I look at you dumb. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. You know? And I remember just being extremely hurt by that. And mind you, me and my friend, so it was 4 of us, right? Me and my other friend came from the same college, and we drove to my friend. Maybe I should give them names. So it's 4 of us. We have Lisa. Just gonna come up with the names. We have Lisa, we have me, we have Kendra, and then we have the guy named Michael, whatever. So Lisa and I went to Kendra's school for this party. And his boyfriend, Michael, was one that said these things. And imagine, we were also sleeping over at Michael's house because he lived in an apartment, and it was big enough to house all of us that were all sleeping over for this. They all came over from our own universities to go to this party. And I just remember not feeling welcomed anymore after he said that, and just really wanted to go home. And mind you, I really couldn't go home because Lisa and I came together, you know. And I basically, like, I checked them right there and then. I was like, yo, that's not cool. Like, why would you say that? And I had that conversation with Kendra, you know, the light-skinned best friend. And she basically laughed it off, and she put it off like, oh, no, he's just joking. It's okay. And that's where the problem comes in also, is that sometimes light-skinned women are not dark-skinned women's allies. Why not? Because if that was me, if the roles were reversed, and my boyfriend said some dumb fuck like that, I would have immediately checked them. Like, yo, don't do that kind of shit. You don't say that to anyone, let alone my best friend. And that didn't happen. You know what I mean? And that to me was just, it's not okay. It's absolutely not okay. You know, like colorism exists in the Black community. And dark-skinned women need to stop advocating for all of these Black men that literally in 2.5 seconds, you're dust to them. Like a light-skinned woman will never know the struggles of a dark-skinned woman at all. Because not only is being Black in America hard enough, now add in being dark-skinned in America. Or being dark-skinned Black in general in the world. Like, that is a struggle upon a struggle upon a struggle. That's just not okay. It's not okay. And you know, like, if we talk about our feelings, like my friend Kendra did, she dismissed me immediately. And she was like, oh, don't worry about it, you're just being emotional. Why do I have to, like, why did that statement have to come out of your mouth? You know, like, why do you have to dismiss me as being emotional? Why? Why? We're gaslighted into thinking that we're the problem, and then we internalize that situation and we internalize that problem, and then guess what? That turns into rage and anger in the future. And then we're not able to be good human beings. We're not able to, like, work on ourselves correctly. And I feel like that's also why it took me so long for my self-esteem to be what it is now. Because now you can't tell me shit. You can't tell me nothing. Now, absolutely not. Like, do you see me? Like, we'll just have a moment of silence for me. And also all the dark-skinned women out there in the world. Like, do you see us? Like, we have Ryan Destiny. We have Lupita Nyong'o, Viola Davis, Angela Bassett. The lady from Queen and Slim. Do you see us? Like, don't get me started on all these Black queens. And I mean dark-skinned Black queens. Don't get me started. Like, I wished I saw people like Viola Davis on my TV screen. And I wished that I saw people like Ryan Destiny on my TV screen. You know what I mean? And I wished that I saw the cast of Black Panther on my TV screen. You know what I mean? Like, I wished, because growing up, it was either pale or the lightest shade was Beyonce's shade. And hello, like, I'm no Beyonce over here. For color, that's not, you know, like, I am a dark-skinned chocolate woman. You feel me? Like, my melanin, I'm melanated, boo. I have Afrocentric, you know, a nose. My lips are luscious. My skin is divine and gold. Like, you can't tell me nothing. I'm not bragging. I just not understand who I am and the amount of power that I have and how confident a Black woman can be without the need and the approval of society and the world. Check that. Period. Oh my God. Now, I really honestly hope this video is not all over the place, but if you were picking up what I was putting down and you was getting it, I mess with you. I appreciate you for that, honey. Because beauty is not something that you can acquire. You know, like, beauty is from within. Beauty is not something that, you know, you chose to be or you just have. And beauty doesn't sustain you. Because when you're 60, maybe even 30, 40, like, that wears off. Then what is left of you? You know? Like, it's something, like, external and inner beauty is what works. That's the goal. That's what you should strive for. You know? And I'm just going to take this. I'm using the Fenty Beauty Bronzer, by the way. I'm just going to take this and also just put it in my inner corner just to deepen it just a little bit. Like, the hate that you have for me and for my skin color, and for my skin in general, it's something that I cannot change. Like, I was born this way. Like, God literally made me this way. You know what I mean? I can't change it. And I wouldn't want to change it. When I was younger, did I want to? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, I did. Absolutely. Being left out in things in school, not really having any friends. It's something that I cannot change. I can't change who I am. I can't change my skin color. And that boy telling me, oh, go home and pour bleach on yourself and see if you're going to be lighter. Like, I can't do anything about that. Like, do you want me to bleach my skin that bad? And sometimes I do wonder as to, like, if I did bleach my skin, right? Like, would my self-esteem, would it have been better? Like, would my self-esteem be better? Would all my insecurities be gone if I had bleached my skin? And you guys know what comes with bleaching your skin. Like, I'm gonna put photos all over of just what happens when you bleach your skin and what happens to the skin when you bleach it. Like, it's not a pretty look. It's not a pretty look. Like, that does not make you look beautiful. To me, that's not pretty at all. But a lot of Africans do it. And a lot of Nigerians do it. Black doesn't just come in one color. Light skin just doesn't come in one color. Dark skin does not come in one color. We all come in different colors. And we need to celebrate that because that's what makes us unique. Like I said earlier, there is a duality to this. Two separate sides to this. You know? And like Lupita Nyong'o, I remember also a couple years back where she was reading this letter that she wrote to her young self. Well, when she was little, she wrote this letter to herself. And the letter was basically asking herself to become light-skinned. And to be, instead of being sunset, she wanted to be sunrise. You know, you get it? A sunset is dark and sunlight is lighter. And hearing that also just like butts hairs to my face also because I completely understand. I've been there. And there are days where I'm still there sometimes where, you know, I'll wake up and I'm like, damn, I hate what I see. And that sucks. But it's because of what we've been conditioned to as dark-skinned Black women. You know, and also in the Red Table Talk, Jada played this clip of dark-skinned girls, I believe is the title. And one woman in particular talked about how her dark-skinned friend had a baby. And basically the baby came out light-skinned. And the woman said, oh, thank God the baby came out light-skinned. And the woman was crying. And I completely understand because I also had a friend that had a baby. And the first thing that came out of this person's mouth was, she's light-skinned. And to me, that triggered something in me because it was like, is it that much of a crime? Is it that bad to be a dark-skinned person in this world? Is it that bad? Imagine a newborn baby and the mother is already bringing her insecurities and passing it onto that child without the child even knowing. There's a brand new newborn baby. Like, is it that much of a crime to be dark-skinned? Is it? Like, am I not human like you? Like, am I, you know, like waste? Am I to the dust? You know, and also even growing up, I remember one of my mom's friends a couple years ago, she, randomly, this woman came over to our house and she had a bleaching cream that she gave to me. And she was like, here you go. And her nickname for me was Blackie. She'd be like, Blackie, come here. And she gave me this bleaching cream and she was like, here, go use this. She was like, then your body will be lighter. And she would also say, what guy would want you being this dark skin? You need to be lighter so men can come to you. So men can want to marry you. And it's like, number one, at the age of 12, I'm not thinking of marriage. I'm still not thinking of marriage. Number 2, does being lighter, is that what's better? Is light better? Is it really better? Is being light-skinned better than being dark-skinned? And number 3, at the age of 12, you're giving a 12-year-old bleaching cream. That says more about you than it says about me. It says more about your insecurities than it says about me. And I remember going into my room and just crying. Like, y'all don't understand. I hated looking in the mirror. Did not, like, I would never look in the mirror in that house. Never, ever. If I wanted to brush my teeth, I would, you know how the mirrors has 3 things? I would close all 3 and brush my teeth, wash my face. I would not go outside during the summer. And I remember the first summer that I actually was out of summer, and it was because I had a summer job. And our summer job was making the mosaic outside. And, you know, I was in the sun all the time. And I noticed on my feet that I had the line of my sandals was on my feet. And I was like, what? I tan? I tan? Black people tan? And I remember going home and looking at my skin and like looking at it in the mirror and seeing which part got lighter and which part got darker. And I remember I was like, wow. So getting darker is not a bad thing. Getting darker, even it makes my melanin even pop out even more. And I remember feeling so beautiful, like, oh my God, like, wait, really? This is what happens when you have sun on your skin? And mind you, when that happened, I was like 14 years old. It shouldn't have taken me that long to realize that having sun on my skin is a good thing and not a bad thing. And like I said, I'm not going to get emotional because I am a gangster over here. And I want this to be an open discussion. And I want the community to do better when it comes to colorism. And accept and understand the role that everyone plays into this. And how much it affects us dark-skinned women. These are traumas that stays with us forever. And Lupita Nyong'o said it completely right. She said it's something that she works on every single day. Every single day. It just doesn't go away as you get older. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. And at first, even when it came to even talking about this, I was like, should I even put this video out? Should I even talk about this? Because this is such a taboo topic and no one talks about it. We're gaslighted into staying quiet about this. But that fucks us up on the inside. It's crazy. And I have so many other stories that I could say when it comes to what I've dealt with colorism, especially at the hands of Black men and Black women. It wasn't the white kids that were making fun of me. It was the Black kids and the Hispanic kids. Those were the ones that were making fun of me. Those were the ones that were harassing me about my skin color. Those were the ones calling me burnt cookie, calling me midnight, saying I can't see her in the dark, telling me to go home and pour bleach on myself. Those were the ones. And if you're a colorist, I don't even waste my breath on you anymore. Like, that's for the birds. Let somebody else deal with you. I'm not going to deal with you. Like, for example, there was this guy that I was working with at one of my jobs. Mind you, didn't like this guy, nothing at all. He comes over to me randomly and he's like, I don't date Black women. And I was like, what? Excuse me? What? Like, we're working right now. What does this have to do with anything? And he's like, yeah, I don't date Black women. yada, 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 especially dark-skinned Black women. And I'm like, okay, because, you know, like I was stationed in one place. I couldn't move, you know, change my station, whatever. I was like, well, I have no choice but to listen to this dumb shit. But go ahead. Let me hear you. And he basically was like, I only date light-skinned women or white women or Hispanics because I don't want my daughters coming out looking like you. And I was like, what? Like, what did I do to you? Like, did I hurt you? Like, what did I do to you for you to even say those words to me? Like, what makes you think that was okay to say? I don't date Black women, specifically dark-skinned Black women, because I don't want my child coming out looking like you. Let's work on this. Let's talk about this a lot more. And I want to hear a lot more in the comments, y'all. Like, if you're a dark-skinned woman, just a Black woman in general, leave a comment down below. How has colorism affected you? Do you have someone in your family that's a colorist? Because I know being African, Africans are so obsessed with color and how you look and being light-skinned. Everyone is such in a hurry to be light-skinned and bleach their skin that even when you see them, it's so obvious to tell who bleaches their skin. It's super obvious. Super obvious. So leave a comment down below. I want to hear more from you guys. Because what I shared in this video is just a little bit of what I've gone through and the colorism that I've gone through. So leave a comment down below. Let me hear it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until the next video, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also share this video. And leave a comment down below. Also, because I want to hear your opinion and your thoughts on this. Until the next one, bye.